Dominic Breazeale may leave Dillian Whyte in the cold to fight Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang notification gang. Please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Shout out to The Sun. Link is in the description. The Sun has an article. You guys see it. It says Dillian Whyte out. Dillian Whyte to be left in limbo again, as Dominic Breazeale hints at a Wilder fight instead. The Brixton boxer may lose the chance to become the mandatory challenger to the WBC champion after being disappointed in his attempts to gain a rematch with Joshua. Dillian Whyte could be in for more disappointment as his chance to take on Dominic Breazeale for the WBC, quote, interim heavyweight champion title looks to be disappearing. The Brixton boxer had been ordered to face Dominic Breazeale to win the interim title and become mandatory challenger to Deontay Wilder. Look, y'all smiling. Heavyweight. The situation arose as the WBC were expecting Wilder to agree with a rematch to Tyson Fury and wanted a challenger to be in place for the winner of that bout. But now that Tyson Fury has signed a promotional deal with US sports network ESPN, that rematch could be in doubt. That means that Deontay Wilder will be seeking an opponent for his next bout with Dominic Breazeale in that box seat, though the Bronze Bomber has also indicated his openness to take on other fighters. It's another big blow for Dillian Whyte, who saw his chance of a huge domestic bust-up with Anthony Joshua disappear this month. WBA, WBO, IBF champion Anthony Joshua announced that he would make his American debut against Gerald Big Baby Miller in New York in June, killing off Whyte's hope against a title shot against his fellow countrymen. The two previously fought in 2015, and then it goes on to say Breazeale, who was himself beaten in 7 rounds by Anthony Joshua 2016, seems to be the big winner in the new scenario. He told Inside PBC on Fox, "I'm excited. That was the biggest thing that's happened to me in the last 15 months. I'm super excited to take the fight. I'm waiting for the phone call with the date." When asked about the possibility of facing Dillian Whyte, he added, "That's actually a fight we've been negotiating. Me and Dillian's people have been talking, but with this news on Wilder coming out, I can't pass on a world title. If I don't get the world title, I'll definitely take the WBC interim title for sure." Now, he also did this, everyone's talking about Gervonta Tank Davis. He outscored Deontay Wilder and other people punching this thing.
You see, when I did,
guys, all right.
You know, he hit the... Wow. See, the score went all the way up to 936.
How different did he look like the...
So, you know, who's that? Mum from hell. Sorry about that. I'll be getting distracted. My thoughts, I feel bad for Dillian Whyte. You know, Dillian Whyte thought he was going to get a title shot. See, this is the thing. I really feel Dillian Whyte was Eddie Hearn's guard dog, you know, so to speak. He was put in positions where, like, when Deontay Wilder was heavily calling out Anthony Joshua and encroaching and getting tired of waiting and, you know, aggressively calling out Joshua, Eddie Hearns initially used Dillian Whyte, like I said, like a guard dog. Sick Dillian Whyte. Oh, build your UK profile. And he fed the public, the media, this huge story about how Dillian Whyte is the perfect fight for him at the O2 Arena in February 3rd. See, I even remember the dates and stuff. He needs to fight a guy like that first to build his UK buzz because no one in America or the UK know who Deontay Wilder is. Yada, yada, yada. Fast forward to the future, Wilder had a better 2018 than Joshua did, fighting the likes of Luis King Kong Ortiz, as well as Tyson Fury. And, you know, Tyson Fury, his decision to go to ESPN, at the moment, it's looking like it benefited him immediately and not necessarily boxing. The reason being, yes, boxing fans are happy for Tyson Fury to get paid and get money, but it's created this limbo, and it's created this ripple in the pond effect where, you know, Dillian Whyte can't seem to catch a break. He says he was shortchanged and offered low amount of money, offered peanuts to rematch Joshua, which a lot of people, probably considering how Dillian Whyte had a better 2018 of an opponents and performances against those opponents than Gerald Miller, people probably would have liked AJ versus Dillian Whyte. If we're going off of AJ, I know people want to see the Tyson Fury and AJ and Wilder and AJ or Luis Ortiz, but I'm saying if we're choosing only between Dillian Whyte and we're choosing between him or Gerald Miller based on the presence and what the outspokenness, and even though Gerald Miller's outspoken, I just think all in all, Dillian Whyte has more history with Joshua. They're from the same country, and that possibly could have saved the Wembley date. I don't know how big the fight would have been out there, but they knew they couldn't bring Big Baby Miller to Wembley and sell it out. That's why all of a sudden Joshua has new interest to want to come to America and fight out here randomly when he opted out to not see through, a $50 million offer from Deontay Wilder. But I feel bad for Dillian Whyte in this situation because he's trying to get the smoke, trying to get a title shot. He was, in essence, in my opinion, for lack of a better phrase, he was used to fight whatever fight, sell pay-per-views with Joseph Parker, sell pay-per-view, a domestic level pay-per-view with Derek Chisora, who gave him problems. He overcame all that, thought, yes, here's my moment. I'm fighting Anthony Joshua next, only to find out they had other plans. They knew Wilder Fury, or thought Wilder Fury was going to fight, but they used, Dillian Whyte's publicly said this. He says he believes he was used kind of as a bargaining chip. They knew they wanted to fight Gerald Miller, right? So they played them against each other. Gerald Miller, hey, we're going to fight Dillian Whyte if you don't take this amount of money. And then they found somewhere where Gerald Miller was comfortable with his offer. And then as a result, that fight was signed and made, and Dillian Whyte left in the cold. Then he got news from the WBC that seemed good. The WBC thought Tyson Fury and Wilder were going to rematch, and it was getting real close. Negotiations had go smooth. Unbeknownst to anybody, apparently including the WBC, no one knew Tyson Fury was doing this backdoor negotiations, him, Frank Warren, and ESPN for some kind of mega deal. And now people don't know what's up. It looks like Tyson Fury, based on what I've heard, I wouldn't hold my breath. Bob Arum was talking about tune-ups, and it depends on if people are being realistic. Just basic business talk. So anytime you hear promoters and trainers overly talking about money and numbers, and it depends if people are being realistic, then that's usually not a good sign from my experience. So now all of a sudden people are wondering, damn, is this gonna happen? So I guess we'll have to wait and see. I actually, if you want, let me know in the comment section, but I was gonna make a video about this. Deontay Wilder will beat Anthony Joshua as he is faster and more power, insists legend Evander Holyfield. Holyfield also said, basically, to paraphrase, that Wilder is better and Joshua is ducking the smoke with Wilder. So I was gonna make a video on that. If you guys want a separate video on that about heavyweights and Wilder Joshua, leave me a comment in the comment section. But back to Dillian Whyte, overall I just feel bad for the guy. He's been trying to get the big fights and line up a title shot. He's, out of the guys who are non-champions, he's definitely worked to try to get there, and he just keeps getting one blow after another. Wilder look kind of big right there. Seemingly good news from the WBC. Oh yeah, he's gonna have to fight Dominic Breazeale to establish the long-standing issue of who is the number one mandatory. Is it Dominic Breazeale for Wilder? Is he the number one mandatory, or is it Dillian Whyte? Because Dillian Whyte's under the impression for 18 months he's been the number one spot, but Dominic Breazeale feels he's been the number one guy. And the only reason the WBC was going to step aside and have an exemption is because the big fight with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, everybody thought that would be next. So this is all shook the game up. Tyson Fury's announcement, and I wouldn't say necessarily in a good way. Because Wilder and everybody, they kind of were saying Joshua doesn't hold all the cards, we're going to starve him out. And at this point, Joshua is the only person that has a scheduled fight that we know what he's doing. Joshua and Gerald Big Baby Miller in June. Meanwhile, you got Wilder. We don't know what he's gonna do. You know, Dominic Breazeale, Dillian Whyte. You know, we don't know what's gonna happen with their fight. We don't know what's gonna happen with really any of the guys. Dillian Whyte. We don't know. So interesting stuff. This Fury thing really created that ripple in the pond, and ultimately we have to find out what Tyson Fury plans to do with ESPN, this new deal. And once we decide that, then the next basically everything, I guess, waits until we figure out who Tyson Fury is fighting. If the Wilder fight is actually off the rematch, or if they somehow get it done, joint networks, joint promotion, something like that. So let me know what you guys think. I thought the rematch was coming. I really hope it does. This will be a bad look, in my opinion, for Tyson Fury. He stepped up to the plate the first time, but if he doesn't decide to, what the fuck? They be having some clickbait ass shit. This shit scared me. Who is that? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I don't know who that is. Sorry, this stuff is distract. Pornhub star attacked. See what I'm talking about? A Pornhub star attacked by a Tinder date who tried to rape her at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to talk about heavyweights and all this shit is happening. Let me get out of here. But if Tyson Fury ends up fighting someone other than Wilder, it's not a good look. Again, I'm happy that he's getting a lot of money, but there's unfinished business here, and the world knows it. And it created this pendulum shift where Dillian Whyte thought he was going to become the WBC mandatory if he gets past Dominic Breazeale. Dominic Breazeale is the only one that's really happy in this situation, and Dominic Breazeale already got beat by AJ, but he's already had a title shot and he came up short, and that was with AJ. Dominic Breazeale on PBC, he was like, yeah, this is great news, I'm glad. So of course he's happy because he has a beef with Deontay Wilder. He got punched in the hallway at a hotel or something, and they've been beefing for years, and I think that he has a lawsuit against Wilder. So, that's good news for him, but is it good news for boxing? Because Dominic Breazeale versus Dillian Whyte, I could get with that. That sounds cool. But the winner of that fight, I would want to see I want to see these two people you see on screen fight each other, if it wasn't going to be AJ. But now everything is convoluted. Let me know what you guys think Dillian Whyte should do. It's gonna suck for him if Dominic Breazeale, because you got to understand, the WBC had a convention in Ukraine, and they made it clear that Dominic Breazeale is the actual mandatory. Even though somehow Dillian Whyte is number 1, 2, Dominic Breazeale, I was at the fight. The WBC had an eliminator, Dominic Breazeale versus Eric Molina. It was on like Charlo or somebody's undercard. Mikey versus Broner, I forgot what card, but it was in New York. I remember that much. And that fight was to determine the mandatory. And you got to keep in mind, Deontay Wilder has not had a mandatory defense since Bermane Stiverne, who just fought Joe Joyce. Didn't look so good. But check out my video I did on Joe Joyce, Bermane Stiverne outcome. Yeah, and Stiverne, the second fight with Wilder, when he knocked him out, that was his last mandatory defense. Now, the WBC stepped out of the way one time to make Wilder versus Fury. Then they were going to do an immediate rematch. The WBC, seeing how big the event was and how fans were happy, and the first one was a classic, and the Undertaker shit in the 12th round, they were going to step out of the way yet again. But now, if Tyson Fury fights Kubrat Pulev or, a top-ranked person like Rivas or somebody, the guy that beat Bryant Jennings, then we're talking about something else. We're talking about a different scenario. So this Tyson Fury's decision may have scrambled a lot more in the heavyweight division. I'll keep you guys posted. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.